What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. Oh, Lord.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that cough. Welcome into Lineman Life. I'm your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri, here with my co-host, Justin Blaylock.
What it do?
We are your linemen of Lineman Life. And today, after a week off for the 4th of July, we are back to bring you our thoughts on the world of sports and the NFL in particular. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we drop our new live streams on every Monday and Wednesday. We drop clips in between on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. But today, we got some things to talk about. There's a couple of nice little hearty tidbits of news to get into in the NFL, especially.
Finally.
Now, let's go ahead and get the bad news out of the way first. We had a player do some dumb shit that may or may not cost him some money in this upcoming season. Will definitely cost him something as far as the NFL is concerned, but this is a guy who's a vet. This is a guy who's been around a long time. Not really something you would expect to see from him, but hey, as they say, shit happens.
Shit, he's a year behind us.
Dwayne Brown arrested at LAX on a gun charge. This one kind of flew under the radar. Justin actually put me onto this because I didn't realize this happened. But
this could be helpful if he was trying to like segue into a rap career.
You want some street cred?
This is some shit like
you want street cred. You get it the right way. You get a gun charge.
Yeah. I don't know what his rap name would be, but this would help. Not so much.
DBZ.
Not so much for the NFL.
Yeah. But Dwayne Brown arrested at LAX for allegedly possessing a concealed weapon. Now, that's such a hard thing to like really fathom in today's society. Like, you got a gun, concealed weapon, you're going to the airport. Don't remember the last time anybody said you could have a concealed weapon at the airport. Don't remember ever hearing that being a thing. Most people don't do that. Or if they do, they take it and they drop it off to have it shipped along with them, which they give you like protocol and procedures that you got to follow to do that.
You can check though.
You can check your gun in. Yeah.
But I mean,
says here Brown,
I think, and maybe obviously can't be loaded, but you just declare
it. Yeah, it can't be loaded. That would be like another dumb mistake.
Okay, so if it's a concealed weapon, does that mean it's on his person?
Like if it's concealed, it was on him. That's the thing.
It's not even like in his carry-on. Like I can see that. Oh shit! I forgot this was in here. But it's hard.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think that's where they're saying it's concealed because it was in his luggage, which means he tried to get it through baggage check. But it says here.
Trying to understand that. I could not understand like it's on your hip. You can't forget that.
Yeah, you know what? I got a story about that, but hold on. Let's get through some of this. This is a 5-time Pro Bowler selection, posted $10,000 bond, was released from custody at 11:32 p.m. Is due back in Los Angeles Superior Court August 3rd, so he'll have to go back by the time right around the start of training camp to go to court. But it's a misdemeanor. That's what he's getting charged with. It's a misdemeanor, which, I mean, I would say getting caught with a gun, if you're not like a convicted felon, I don't see why if you get caught with a gun in an unlawful manner, I think at least the first offense of it should be a misdemeanor, just because, I mean, look, he was going to the airport. Now, some people will say, well, he was going to the airport. Maybe it should be a felony, but I mean, I don't know. I guess we can agree to disagree on that.
If you get on the no-fly list as a player, like
that's on you. You know what I mean? Let's see. Says TMZ reported that the gun, which wasn't loaded, was found in Brown's luggage by airport security. He was arrested at 3:08 p.m. Damn, so he was arrested at 3:08 and didn't get out of jail till 11:30. Damn.
Shit.
I mean, that's probably fast for LA too.
Right. Now,
It's probably fast for
I'm
LA,
sure
but
they got cameras everywhere. But I mean, I'd be like,
but I mean, it wasn't loaded.
I don't know whose bag that is.
Yeah, it wasn't loaded.
Not my bag.
I think he thought because it wasn't loaded that they was going to be like, yeah, no, bro, no.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't matter if it's loaded or not. You have to check it specifically with the airport. They'll lock it so that you can't, so the trigger can't be pulled, and they'll store it, and then they'll ship it with you when you fly out, and then you'll be good. You can't just throw the empty gun in there. I'll get some bullets on the other side. Nah. Nah, that's not gonna work, cuzzo.
We're pretty lax with guns here, but we don't play with
guns. You can get away with a lot with guns. You can do whatever you want in this country with guns.
But except
go to the airport. You can't do that.
We don't play with guns.
And I mean, give it time, but we're not doing that right now. So we'll keep up with that. I'm sure that's probably just that's more of a blip than actual like issue for Dwayne Brown. I mean, I don't think anybody's really had any trouble with him. We haven't heard of him being in any issues in recent times at all. He's been a pretty solid guy on and off the field, O-line. So I met the cat. I met him a number of times because he played for the Texans. I played for the Jaguars. We played against each other. Me and him had mutual friends. Shout out to Takeo Spikes. So, I've communicated with him a number of times, but never is, he's always been a stand-up dude. So I don't have no worries about that. Now, another little tidbit comes this way in the NFL. The Denver Broncos have added someone to their ownership group, which, I mean, depending on how you see things, this is a good thing, or it's just another example of just the good old boys club to a certain extent. If you know people, if you're a certain echelon of individual in this country, whether it be politically or socially, you can have access. So here we see that the Denver Broncos have added Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice sounds like a Mexican dish.
Oh no!
Woo! The Walton, I'm sorry, the Walton Penner Family Ownership Group is pleased to welcome former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice to its ownership group.
You can't help but say it in the voice.
You can't help but say it in that Dave Chappelle voice. That's the only way to say it. I mean, look, Broncos fans, let me just say this. I know this sounds like something nice and cool, and Condoleezza Rice is, she is a known figure in the political world.
And I think she's
Let's not get it twisted. Where's she from?
I think she grew up in Denver. Or maybe went to school there.
In Denver. I mean, look at this, man. Look, come on, man. That's how Candace Owens going to look in 20 years. That's Candace Owens right there. Bing, bing. But Condoleezza Rice, very, I would say a little bit divisive because of her alignment with George W. Bush and their Bush doctrine back in the early 2000s. So, there's a little bit of a side eye just because it's like, you said Iraq was no threat. You said that. And then we went to war with them. Mm-hmm. So, there's definitely some history there in regards to her relationship with the public as a public figure. But, hey, it's still significant that you have a woman of color being brought onto the ownership group of the Broncos. And I think this is how these people rehabilitate their image in the public forum. After they get done making these awful decisions as politicians, they come back into the public world and get on ownership groups for football teams and, you know, things of that nature, so that it softens the animosity a little bit. Which, hey, I'm not knocking that, because that's something you can do.
To be in an ownership group.
Say what?
Is she the first woman of color to be in an ownership group?
Yes, I believe so. In the NFL, absolutely. I think she's the first.
Okay. So first female,
because you know,
first woman of color,
was it?
First woman of color to own an NFL team. Man, that's kind of big shit.
That's big. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's still significant, you know, because she is a woman of color, and she has, you know, Condoleezza Rice has held her own. I mean, she was part of the empire, but she held her own. You know what I mean?
I don't got to stake on no team.
You know what I mean? Hey, it ain't about what team you on in this regard. To me, it's about, you know, breaking that barrier and giving, you know, opening that door. And I think we were just talking a couple of days ago. It was the Raiders who hired a first Black woman as what is her position? Team president, right? Yeah. So there's some moves being made. The NFL is usually quick to be the first ones to do these kind of things. Now, the problem with the NFL is, how long is that gonna last? Because just like when we saw our first Black head coach, y'all took y'all time getting to that second.
And moreover, you usually don't get a second run.
And yeah, moreover, if you're the Black head coach, you usually don't get that second shot like many other contemporaries on your would.
I mean, you know, Levy's getting his second. This job is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
There's been a few guys. I mean, I think Tony Dungy, notably. There's been a few, you know, Black head coaches that got a second shot. But
well, I mean, you know, Tony Dungy did Tony Dungy did such a good job with that Tampa Bay team. It was so obvious that John Gruden was winning a Super Bowl with a team he had no part in building. It was obvious. And the fact that he, you know, was lucky enough to get the Raiders, who he coached the year before, and they didn't change anything about their system. So they were running his playbook against him as if he doesn't know every single play in that playbook. And hey, you know, got a pretty decisive win against the Raiders. Now, Tony Dungy, we all know that was his team. He went to the Colts. He got it done in Indy. He got it done for them. But, you know, of course, he's a coach. You have to get another shot because he was a Hall of Fame, you know, coach, Hall of Fame kind of career. But, you know, with this here, you know, this is now I would say this is now a new level of potential employment that, you know, minorities have achieved in the NFL as far as that goes. We've gotten the head coaches, we kind of gotten some GMs, and now we got a team president, and now we have one in ownership. So, you know, it's a good thing for everybody when more people are able to get that kind of thing done. I mean, look, you know,
put in the door.
This, I think long game when it comes to this kind of thing with the NFL, because at the end of the day, the thing that matters most to me personally is that these CBAs get worked out in a manner that works for both the players who are playing now and the ones who will be retired, the ones who will be out of the game, who have their benefits, because the NFL continues a push to try and take benefits away. And these fucking CBA lawyers are not really pushing back that much. So they're letting some things slip. And that shit is bull. So, you know, that's what our stake is in it personally in it, is because we already did our work. So the benefits that we knew that we were getting, that we're going to be this much at this point, we want those to be, you know, to hold at that level or get better. We don't want it to go backwards. Shit.
Yeah, just like the country, you know, we're trying to have more rights than the predecessors, not less.
Yeah, we try, and that's the same way all players should feel. If whether you're a rookie now or you played 20 years ago, if you got your benefits and you got vested, man, everybody needs to pay attention to that collective bargaining agreement, because they will nickel and dime you.
Yeah,
even though they're getting $100 million, $5 billion, Hell, the NFL is about to start a streaming service. Come on.
Right.
They said we ain't even going to do DirecTV no more. Come on.
We're beyond that.
They know that's 5 more. They could be making 10 billion more if they didn't give DirecTV that deal.
Yep.
They could be running their own and streaming their own things. That's why they're not renewing. That's going to kill cable. Everybody who has DirecTV is leaving DirecTV next year.
They're definitely encouraging cord cutting.
They're leaving DirecTV next year because ain't gonna be no more NFL Sunday Ticket. They'll go pay $15 a month to have that year round with the NFL on their streaming service. You know what I mean?
That next year gonna be crazy. When they get that money in there, there's gonna be some billionaire players. I mean, it's gonna be like NBA.
Yeah. So play, when you get a chance to seize some control from these owners and or get influence in there that can help the players, got to do it. So we'll see how Condoleezza Rice handles that as a new member of the ownership group with the Denver Broncos. I applaud it because she's in there, and that's really what matters. But she wasn't shit back in the day, but maybe she's better now. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? People could change. That's why I ain't even mad at her. I'm like, hey, get yours. Now, moving on. Man, this happened last week too, folks, and we didn't get a chance, because we were off. We didn't get a chance to really get into this. But it was the big news of the week last week, as you all know. Baker Mayfield. Big bake and shake them. Baker Mayfield is headed to Carolina. He will be a Carolina Panther. Well, he's been traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th-round pick.
It could be a 4th if he plays a lot.
Say what?
I think it could be a 4th if he plays a lot.
Oh, man, who cares if it's a 4th? He was the number 1 overall pick.
And now get traded
the 4th-round pick is like, that's 100 and something deep. That's like 100 players deep.
Right.
So this is the thing, and we got a video here that we're going to look at.
He also had to forfeit some money or turn it into incentives. I know the Browns are paying. I think the Browns are paying $10 million. The Panthers are paying 4.5, and then the rest I think got converted into incentives.
Wow! So they just took all your GP money, your guaranteed pay too.
Yeah, basically.
Wow! They said, yeah, you are not even close to being a 1st-round quarterback to us anymore.
And they fucking paid Darnold 19. He's getting 19 this year, so I'm sure he'll have every opportunity to fuck up.
Oh! You got 2 first overall quarterbacks in one locker room?
No, Sam Darnold wasn't first overall.
He wasn't? What was Sam Darnold?
They're the same year.
Yeah, they're the same. Were they the same year? Yeah.
I think they're 1 and 3.
They're the same year. They're like the same, top 5 picks.
They're 1 and 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. So you got 2 of the first 3 picks in the NFL draft from y'all's year on the same team at the same position. What you think is going to happen now? They both going to suck.
Well, yes.
This is how you get the double whammy. This is the setup. This is the setup of setups in the NFL. You think, okay, we got the number 1 pick. We got the number 3 pick from that draft. Let's put him in there. Let's see if he's, recovered from his time in New York with the Jets, where they are known to disrespect and disavow quarterbacks and any talent they have as quickly as they get it, psychologically damaging these players. And you are going to check and see if he's been able to recover after 2 years of that shit. No, he sucked after 3 games.
I mean, I think,
oh, God, I'm seeing ghosts again.
I think the Panthers were 31st in the power rankings, maybe 32nd. So not a great situation to be going to in the first place. And he's really
then from there,
he's betting on himself, but he's going to be running for his life every fucking play.
Oh, Baker. And then enter Baker Mayfield, the number 1 pick from that same draft. This fool had the world at his fingertips. Look, this is the cautionary tale of Baker Mayfield. There's a difference between being injured and being tough. You're a quarterback. Your toughness meter, bruh, it only goes about yay high. It don't matter how many blows you take. Nobody thinks that you're really that guy. Nobody's going to think that. Because 1, you're protected, but 2, the numbers don't work in your favor. You're a buck fucking third, a buck 80, a buck 90 going up against cats who are 250 running full speed.
It's a very small.
You can barely see over your line.
Right, the time to be tough is after you get your money.
Yes.
Or in the Super Bowl.
Or in the postseason. Then you can be tough guy.
You can become a legend.
This is the thing. The cautionary tale. We talked about this just the week before. Jimmy G, similar situation, non-throwing shoulder. I'm not playing.
You just risk all your teammates calling you a bitch.
Now
hey, but I'm gonna be a bitch.
I'll be a bitch. I'm not playing on Sunday morning. I'm telling y'all this. I ain't playing. No.
Practice on Friday. Nah, I ain't got it.
Saturday night. Nah, can't do it, coach. Jacoby, you up. You up.
Oh, you can't even grip the football. You figure it out.
Look, when you are hurt, everybody's playing hurt, but when you're injured, you got to understand you are fucking with your money. They may sit there and pat you on the back after the game and be like, yo, you're tough as nails. He's tough as nails. While the cat behind them with the clipboard and the contract market values is just steadily writing notes right under your name. Yeah, he definitely he tore that shoulder completely up.
Management, hey, you need to be ready next week.
I'd be like, hey,
you ain't hear this from me.
Start warming up.
You ain't hear this from me, but get on the bike.
Start warming up. This cat goes out there with a torn labrum, completely torn. The very first time he injured it, completely torn. And this is where teams will fuck you. Well, they will sit there and tell you it's not as bad as it is. And they'll sit there and they'll pressure you. These teams, I mean, look, it's part of the culture. They have ways of pressuring you that other people will not notice as pressuring you. They will just say little things in meetings about just what you did on this play, and they'll pressure you. They'll make you feel pressure that you need to be out here getting more reps. You need to be getting more reps instead of having them looking at your shoulder, instead of getting tied up. How long does it take them to put that big vest on your shoulder? Like they do these little bitty passive aggressive things to pressure you into feeling like you need to be playing injured. And that's what he did. And what did it get him? Nothing.
Squadoosh.
They got him disrespected to the utmost level as a number 1 overall pick. You get disrespected. They tell you to your face they don't got no faith in you, and we already hired your replacement, but we're not letting you go anywhere until we're ready to let you go somewhere. And then when we let you go, we don't even want nothing for you. We don't even want nothing. We just want to get you the fuck out the building because now you've been crying and you've been, we got tissue paper all over the floor in the facilities. No, we need you out of here. 5th round pick.
And sent you to the worst team in the league.
And we sent you to a team that's actually being managed worse than us. Good luck.
Oh, man. And you
got
a rookie left tackle that's going to be going up against Myles Garrett, game 1. It'll be a fucking bloodbath.
And we're going to play you week 1. And chances are we're going to have our quarterback. He might not even get suspended. We're going to blow y'all out.
Yep.
That's how bad it got for Baker Mayfield. So let this lesson be learned for every other young player out there. You know when you're injured, and they know when you're injured. Don't let them risk your future for momentary gratification, because they don't give a fuck as long as their job is intact.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, you can damn sure put their job in jeopardy by not playing and saving your livelihood and your longevity as a player. So fuck them. It's a business. That's a business decision. Jimmy G made the right one.
Yep.
Hey, that cat who was talking shit about him, hey, he ain't making what Jimmy G making this season.
Boy.
Not even close.
Ooh.
They've been talking about trying to get rid of Jimmy G for 5 years.
Right,
they can't do it because he don't.
That deal.
You know what I mean?
They're trying to get that motherfucker.
They've been trying to get rid of this cat for years, and they can't because he's playing the game, and he's playing it for keeps. He's playing it just well enough where they can't get him off.
Yep.
And they might have to pay him. Because really, there's only like 10 good quarterbacks in the NFL year in and year out. And it's hard to argue against him being one of them guys because he keeps getting them back to the playoffs and they keep winning games.
Yeah, you don't get to the playoffs. You might not win no chip.
You cannot take you, and you are a fool to trade away a playoff quarterback. You would be a fool to do that.
Yeah.
Because as bad as some people think Jimmy G is, imagine if he wasn't there.
Right. I mean, what do we really know about Trey Lance at this point?
We don't know nothing about Trey Lance, but I tell you what, they tried to figure out something about old boy in Chicago real quick, and you saw how that fell apart. And he ain't even have the O-line that they got in San Fran.
Yeah, at least he got Trent.
At least he got Trent. Trent Williams. Hey, the first 99 overall O-lineman in Madden history. So big shout out to Big Trent. Man, I'm going to have to try and get him on the show.
The Texas boy right there.
Mm-hmm.
From Longview.
Us Texas boys, I'm telling you, we just get it done. We just get her done. Shit. I think what's my highest rating on Madden? My highest rating was a 92. That was 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Got up to 92 by the end of the season. Started at like 80, started at 88, 87. Got up to 92. So shit. That was the year that Mojo won the Russian title.
Okay.
We got a super chat here from Leif. Leif Upstad. $5. He says Baker would have gotten much more than a fifth round if they didn't try to play through it. If he didn't try to play through a torn labrum in his shoulder. Yes, absolutely true. Yeah. That is really that. I mean, it's the cautionary tale that we always. I mean, I learned that my rookie year when they sent me back on the field with a bruised bone in my knee, sprained MCL. I sat out a half. They threw me some pills and was like, "Get your ass in." And I'm like, "Okay." I mean, that was a difference. That's what made me a starter. So I was like, "Hey, you know." But I was playing injured when maybe I shouldn't have, but it worked out for me. But it's not something you want to, you don't want to roll that dice. Not like that.
I mean, there's a time and a place for it.
There's a time and a place for it. As a quarterback, that's a risky thing to do. Super risky. Leif for another $5. He says, I've said this a lot. If a coach is able to somewhat make Sam Darnold good, that coach should get the nickname of the Ghostbuster. Yeah, I think, hey man, that's the one thing, Sam Darnold, that I think that kind of got him labeled as a player. He got labeled a little bit when they caught him on camera. And see, to me, that's where it's like, yo, cameraman, what you doing, man? Like, come on, man. You just got this cat on blast. You see he's having a rough game. He's in New York, bro. Like, you just got the camera right up, all up in his shit. He goes, man, I think I'm seeing ghosts out there. Oh, total self-destruction. Like, you're scared to even be on the field. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. But
he'll never live that
Baker
shit.
Mayfield, we'll see how his story plays out. But I just can't see things. I mean, Carolina is going to be – it's not going to be – I don't feel like it's going to be much different than Cleveland for him and how his career is played out. I think he may have a chance in one of his seasons there to make a difference. But usually if you don't make that difference, stick, then it's usually, you're going to be nullified to backup QB from that point on. And this is probably his last chance at it. I mean, and it's kind of fucked up because he was kind of on his first chance, but because he came into the league acting like he was hot shit, you come into the NFL acting like you hot shit, you're getting all these commercials, you're doing all this and that, and then the first 2 years, or the first year, you look terrible. The second year, you do much better, but I believe it was his third years when he got into the playoffs.
I think so.
And they beat Pittsburgh. So, and it's funny because that year he was set up. Cleveland's now like a Super Bowl favorite after one win in the playoffs in their first playoff appearance in maybe 2 decades, maybe
25, 30 years, crazy shit.
It was something. It was like Tim Couch type shit. Like,
damn.
Like that list of quarterbacks in Cleveland is a graveyard of careers that are just smothered away.
Quarterbacks go to die.
That's where quarterbacks, I mean, they get aborted there. Them motherfuckers don't even get to live. They get aborted. It's like, bruh, after your first year, they're already looking for the next first overall pick. Ugly. But maybe this is going to be the breath of fresh air that he needs. I doubt it because Sam Darnold had that shot just the year before and it didn't work for him. And, and again, you see the consistent issue with all of these poorly run NFL franchises. Their quarterback position is constantly in turmoil.
Yep.
That is the first signal that your entire franchise is not being managed right. I mean, let's even take a look at Pittsburgh. You look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been relatively quiet the entire offseason, minus the tragedy with Dwayne Haskins. Their quarterback situation is set. It was set even when Dwayne Haskins was, still before he passed.
Yeah, sure.
It was still set. It was going to be Trubisky. That's who it's going to be. Young boy from Pittsburgh, his time will come. But in Pittsburgh, it's not a matter. There ain't no rush to get you out there, cuz.
Right.
When we get you out there, we expect rings.
Yeah, we're playing a long game here.
Yeah. So, that's the difference between a franchise that knows what path to take and knows how to stick to what works, and one that is constantly trying to find a new formula, a new flavor to season their franchise's taste buds, but it does not always pay off the way that one would hope. So, here is.
I forgot they sold their naming rights. The Steelers did.
Oh.
To the.
Oh yeah, another thing. Steelers, Heinz Field. What the fuck? The fuck is this? You let Heinz Field go?
Had a nice ring to it. I'm sure.
I mean, you let Heinz Field. That's Jacksonville's second home, right? That's our second home stadium in the NFL. When we go to Heinz Field, we pour ketchup on all the bread because we run right through these cats when we in Heinz Field. Yeah, you Pittsburgh fans know that. Jacksonville, we own y'all.
Acrisure Stadium doesn't really.
Acrisure Stadium. What kind of a fucking
doesn't really roll off the tongue?
What kind of abomination of a name is that? Y'all could even just say, you know what, the Steel Stadium. Just give us some generic shit. Fuck it, till you get something worthy. What's it called again? Acrisure.
Acrisure. I'm trying to
Acrisure.
What business that is.
An insurance company from Michigan and Pennsylvania. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I really do not know. Y'all got to figure that out. That feels disrespectful. Heinz Field, y'all let that go?
So it said the Heinz deal was a 20-year deal for $57 million back in.
I mean, that was cheap.
Back in 2001. So I'm curious now what these type of deals are going for.
It's got to be. I mean, I'm thinking 25% more, probably like 75, close to 100. But still, like,
Like, if you got to end with
who the fuck is going to call it accurize?
Like, I'm not trying to let anything go if I got any tie to the NFL. Because that shit's going to
go. Look, hey, I mean, Heinz ketchup. What the fuck we all doing? I mean, because really, that's just guaranteed money. That's guaranteed. I mean, that's guaranteed sales. Ain't nobody going to go get no Acrisure insurance because that's what the Steelers Stadium is now named. But I tell you one thing, when I hear Heinz, when I think ketchup, that's all I think is Heinz ketchup.
Yeah, it's synonymous.
Part of that is because the Pittsburgh Steelers football stadium is called Heinz Field.
I'm sure there was other ketchups out there, but I don't know.
There's other ketchups out there, but hey, I know Heinz. I know that one.
Like Coke or Kleenex.
I mean, how do y'all let that slide? See, when things like that happen, that's when I get disappointed with PR departments. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? I'm the owner. I'm walking in there, I'm slapping somebody with the folder that they just handed me. Like, what the fuck is this? I told them not re-sign these guys. Right. Yeah, go ahead, cancel this deal. Call Heinz, give them whatever they want.
It's like, okay, you guys wanted what? You want $5 million a year instead of whatever it was, 3 something? Okay, it's
like, come on. Acrisure. Get the fuck shit. I can't even say it right half the time.
Yeah. Doesn't roll the tongue at all.
Not at all. All right. Now, you know what? I was going to look at this video from Emmanuel Acho, but I think we've already talked about it. Okay, you know what? Maybe let's take a look at it. It's only a minute long. I think he's going to try and defend Baker Mayfield, but whatever. Nah, you know what? Nah. I don't care about it anymore.
What's there to defend?
Huh?
Didn't do anything wrong. It's just poor decision.
Well, the Browns. I was looking at it. It said the Browns saw him as immature and fucking like a little bitch, basically. So, must be true. All right. Moving on.
5-year to not get your 5-year option picked up. That's saying something. That doesn't happen very often, especially a quarterback.
Yeah, a quarterback usually is the only position on the field that gets all the years in their contract. They get them all. Oh, shit. All right, so moving on. I feel like many of you out there know what we roll into next. It's kind of been a little bit of the talk of the town today. As you can see with this lovely animal down at the bottom of this background. This soft, majestic, determined animal of primal instinct. This beautiful, majestic, intimidating lady cougar. That brings me to our boy, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, the cougar killer. The cougar killer is here. Now, for those of you who don't know what's going on, which, I mean, hey, if you're tuning into this show, I would assume you probably do know what's going on because we cover these kinds of things. But
how sedated is the cougar? Because in Talladega,
they got that thing. They got that thing so full of ketamine.
Talladega Nights chain.
They had to Photoshop the tape out of. They got tape on its eyelids right now, keeping its eyes open.
Right.
So Zach Wilson, Zach Wilson. I don't know anything about the dude's personal life. Don't really care that much, but this is something that came out that made me kind of be like, yeah, that's. You either give him points or you call him a weirdo. It's one of the two. And I think I'm going to give him points. But let's listen to
what happened this weekend that has NFL fans wondering
Barstool
what the heck
Sports.
It was an Instagram post between Dax Milne and Abby Guile. Very strange Instagram post. Very strange. You'd have to be a BYU Cougars fan or a Jets fan to even know what I'm talking about. Dax Milne and Abby Guile announced their relationship on Instagram. And so you ask yourself, who is Dax Milne and Abby Guile? What does that matter? Well, Dax Milne was Zach Wilson's teammate, roommate, and best friend at BYU. Abby Guile was his high school sweetheart up until a couple months ago. Now, why would they do that? Why would a guy's best friend start dating his ex-girlfriend of several years? You say, why did Abby Guile walk away from the star quarterback for some scrub on the Commanders? Very rare for a gorgeous girl to do that. Very rare. Why? What's going on in Utah? And that's what the people are asking around the league. What's going on in Utah? And apparently it's that Zach Wilson is banging his mom's friends. After the post by Dax Milne announcing the relationship on Instagram, people started accusing Abby of being a homie hopper. She did not appreciate that, jumped into the comments and said the reason that she broke up with Zach is because Zach is busy fucking his mom's friends. That's what's going on in Utah, Brian Windhorst. Zach Wilson got that dog in him. I think Abby Guile expects the whole internet to have her back. Everyone just loves Zach Wilson and is calling both of them scumbags for breaking the code. Talk about one of your all-time backfires. And now we got Broadway Zach throwing bombs and fucking mom. I'm going to tell you something happened this weekend.
Woo!
I still don't get the tie between the friend and his, like, why'd she leave for his best friend? Like, what type of revenge is that?
Yeah, that's not revenge.
Like,
you just took a burden off. You took 2 burdens off his shoulders. Now he doesn't have to worry about having to be friendly with his homeboy no more, who is now with his ex, and he ain't got to put up. He ain't even got to act like he loved his ex no more because you know he was getting ready to pop off on her anyway.
I'm like, shit. Right. Was y'all fucking the whole time? Like,
I mean,
you might have to catch these hands.
Hey, that's something. Yeah, that might happen if some more details come out. Just to save my face, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah. Because that could be like some on-site type shit.
But look, I want to know who is the cougar that he smashed.
Yeah, I gotta see the mom's friend.
You know, straight to Google. Zach Wilson's mom. Let's see.
You know, he's a.
Oh wait, his mom is like okay. I've seen his mom before. His mom wants to be a star.
I'm about to say his mom is probably a good-looking lady because I mean,
his mom's. I mean, she's a mom. She's a mom. You know, she'd get it. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got some age on her. Apparently that's not.
I mean, she's just, you know, she's his mom was like caught up in some TV, in some MAGA shit, but you know, I don't really care about that. If we just talking about smashability, I give her, you know, like a 6.5. Let me see. This is her. I give her like a 6.5 smashability, like 6. You know, 6. That's her right there.
Yeah.
That's her right there. I mean, really, from this right here, I'd be like 3.5.
Oh yeah, that's not a good picture.
Get away from the camera. But this is her right here. So right here, down in the bottom half. Let me see. Let me scoot up. So that's her right there.
You got very strong genes.
Yeah, they look exactly alike, right? The little strong ass flat forehead. But smashability, she's like I mean, look, it can change depending on angle of camera, lighting in room.
Yeah.
All them things. I mean, you know, looking at everything, I compile my ratings, and I say she's sitting right around a 6.5. Which is not 6.5 is not bad. 6.5 is if it's like a Wednesday night at a bar, I'm with it.
Oh man,
I'm with it. If it's like a Wednesday night at a bar, I'm with it. If you know, I mean, and that's like your typical. That's like your basic. She's basic. She's not no like hot ass white woman. She's basic. She's there's not the majority of people are going to fall into basic. That's what the majority are going to fall into. So you know, she's not. you know, everything else adds up and makes her a more complete woman. You know what I mean? For the individual. If you're looking for something long term, she can cook. You know, she knows she can cook. She's probably got, you know, some business sense about her because she's doing her social media thing. You know, she can create value on her own. And she also has some intangibles that, you know, are more motherly nature. That's fine.
She can create a Division I quarterback.
She created a fucking Division I top. She created a QB, you know?
Hey, she was in that green room.
You know what I mean?
A lot of women don't end up there.
So you know, she's got qualities there, but just smashability, she's just a 6. She's just basic.
I got to imagine that the friend is probably similar.
Yeah, and she's probably the best looking. Yeah, she might be the best looking of her friends because she has probably has more resources.
Yeah, I hope we can, you know, I hope those pictures surface of the friend
that's who I want to see. I want to see what her friend looked like. You know what I mean? I want to see what that friend looked like. And I mean, I'm looking for pictures on this New York Post. So this dude, hold up. So how did his friend get to the Commanders? His friend is on the Commanders. Like he's like, I mean, this thing. Oh, wow.
Is he like a B squad guy or?
He wears number 84.
So he's a receiver.
So he's either a tight end or a receiver. I don't imagine him being a receiver.
So he's probably the tight end.
And the only picture I see of him in his actual game uniform, he doesn't have a helmet on. He doesn't have any sweat on him. His uniform looks pretty clean. So he may not actually even be a guy who's playing.
Oh, like somebody knowledge on us.
7th round pick. Okay, here we go. 7th round pick.
Okay.
Yeah, so he ain't shit. He probably squad dude, basically.
Yeah, that'll probably be, you know, driving Zach next year.
Yeah, he ain't. Yeah, he still got his Prius. He ain't upgraded yet.
Yeah, you need to have a backup plan, sir.
Yeah, you need to have a backup plan. So, I mean, I guess the thing of it is that this dude is getting like him and his new chick are getting shit on by everybody.
He pulled a good-looking girl with P Squad money.
He did.
Good for him.
He pulled a nice little. His girl is a good one. That's a good one. That's like an 8.5, 9.
Yeah, he pulled him a good-looking
like
girl.
8.5, 9. That's
that mouthpiece got to be crazy.
It's got to be. I mean, she ain't got no. She's not like she ain't got no curves or nothing. But
that's fine.
She's got a very nice face. Nice face.
I don't think curves have gotten to Utah yet.
They ain't got to Utah yet. Nah, they got to pass through them Rocky Mountains though, right?
We got some Pacific Islanders. They got some curves, but
yeah. I mean,
I don't think your typical.
I mean, only thing is you got to ignore motherfuckers talking shit to you for the rest of your life. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and then you fucked up the money,
Woo!
Or being close to the money. Now
old girl's family might be loaded. You never know. He might not even need to do nothing.
I hope
that's like Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's married to like the fucking Campbell Soup princess. Like he ain't got to do nothing. That's why he get on TV just talking shit every day because he ain't got to do nothing. You don't have to actually be good at anything.
Yeah, you can fire me. I just do this shit for fun.
Shoot, but I mean, look, until we find out who that mom's friend is, I'm going to err on the side of giving my guy some points. Because, look, you can almost rest assured he didn't go after his mom's friend.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't go after her.
Definitely something.
He didn't go after her for 1 second. She seen him out one night, and she was a little drunk, and she shot her shot, and he was not gonna. He's not gonna say no.
Oh shit! Like, is anybody in this bitch?
Like, yeah, let's get out of here. Meet me out back.
Yes,
Follow me to my spot.
Some graduate type shit going on.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not like a situation where, you know, he's just at his mom's house and, you know, these women are just salivating over him. You know what I mean? Like
playing Monopoly with, you know, the mom's friends. And
the mom's friend she might be a lady in her 30s. You know, it's not like she's like necessarily his mom's age.
Yeah, she could be younger.
She could be younger, so it could be fair game. Shit. I might fuck around and marry her. Shit, who knows?
Mom might have set him up. Like, look,
might have set him right.
I got a friend, you know, she don't nothing. She don't really want nothing from me, just, you know, a little fun.
Yeah, she's just trying to, you know, sow her royal oats. You know what I mean? No biggie there. But anyways, we'll keep an update out on that, and as this, I'm sure more details will leak out sooner rather than later. But we'll see how that plays out coming up. Make sure while you're here checking this out, you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that bell notification so you get notified, because now we're moving into the last segment of the show. In this segment, I got a little creative with it because of this situation right here. The quarterbacks in the NFL, as team executives, coaches, scouts, and players deem them, these are the top 10 NFL quarterbacks. And this is according to the NFL itself, not according to talking heads, not according to, you know, major news networks. This is according to the players and the coaches and the execs and the scouts. When you go around and you get, you know, kind of a census on who do players see as the best quarterbacks, and I mean, and this goes through each position really, but you find out a lot more during Pro Bowl voting, because you're allowed to vote for peers, and you vote for your peers, and you'll see those votes as once they finish, so you'll know how many peer votes you got. But here, there are some people who have had some complaints because there's a certain name missing from this list. As you see, first is Aaron Rodgers, then Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Dak Prescott. And look, Deshaun Watson hadn't played in a season. Right. He's still in the top 10. Which that tells you how good he was playing before he went on his sabbatical.
Top 3 to 5 guy with a dog shit roster before he left.
Yeah. He had a terrible roster and it was really over here where you could switch him and Josh Allen out, and that would have been fair.
Yep.
Because that's how good he was playing with the bad roster. But I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with too much on this list.
Yeah, let me pull up.
I would actually move Joe Burrow back behind Matthew Stafford. I would put him and Justin Herbert at about the same clip right now, because really, like, say what?
That's just recency bias.
Yeah, it's because he was in the Super Bowl, so people are going to give him that, right?
Super Bowl.
But what I have done here, because this is the thing, people are mad about Lamar Jackson not being in this top 10. And this is Warren Sharp, who says he had his team number 1 seed in the AFC in early December. Yeah, which means nothing, because it's not the beginning of December that you're worried about. It's the end of December that you're worried about. By the end of December, they were out of the playoff picture. Despite being the first most injured team in the history, ranked number 1 in the NFL, throwing outside the numbers. These are all this is word salad. This is stuff that really don't mean shit. What does it mean to be the best throwing quarterback rating outside the numbers? You can dump the ball down outside the numbers. You can dump it off to a running back outside the numbers.
This is true.
Top 10 in NFL in rushing yards when healthy. Okay. He's a quarterback. And after injury, Baltimore went 0-5. He's not a top 10 QB. No, I don't believe that Lamar Jackson is a top 10 QB. And I think if you ask Lamar Jackson, he'll tell you the same thing. Last year was not a year. I mean, he is a premier quarterback. And I would say in the past 3 years, he has been top 10 quarterback in the NFL. But last year, he didn't play nearly to the level that he had played 2 years prior. And the injuries kept him out of, a big chunk of the season. So no, you're not. Not because your play has fallen off, but because there's not even enough film to really assess you in a full and fair manner as there is with these guys here who, minus Deshaun Watson.
Ability in football, Uche.
Huh?
What's the best ability in football?
Availability.
Oh.
If you ain't available, you're not valuable. So, look, and again, there's one exception to this rule, and that is number 9, Deshaun Watson. That's because Deshaun Watson, in all honesty, is not injured, and there's nothing holding him back from playing. In the last season of full film we have to look at him, there was probably only one quarterback who was better than him, and that was Patrick Mahomes. That was it. Yeah.
And technically, I think he was he on NFI all year, Deshaun?
Oh, yes. Deshaun did not play a single down the entire season. He didn't even do anything in training camp. But what I have done is I have given us a little activity here. We are going to tier rank the NFL's quarterback roster. So, just looking at this top 10, and it's not necessarily going to be just the top 10, but we have our tiers. You have 5 elite quarterbacks. 5 elite quarterbacks. These are the best of the best. When you boil it down, when it boils down to it, you're not surprised to see these 5 quarterbacks playing to get into, playing in the postseason. You're not surprised by seeing them.
Yeah, these guys not single-handedly.
These are the guys you kind of expect to see in the postseason year in and year out.
Just by being on your team.
Just from being on your team. You're a playoff contender immediately. And you're 85% of the time, you're going to be the team that wins your division and gets into the playoffs with this quarterback. So we're looking at their top 10, and they have at number 1, Aaron Rodgers. I personally, I have Aaron Rodgers as an elite quarterback. I don't think there's any argument to that. Is he number 1 in my eyes? No, he's not. You can't do what he did against the 49ers and say he's number 1. No, you can't do that.
Number 1 regular season quarterback for sure.
Yes, number 1 regular season quarterback without a doubt. But hey, there's a reason why we got the postseason. There's a reason for that season. I would say if we're going to just pick 5 elite quarterbacks, I would say, yes, you have him. I would say that you have him. I would say I would say that you definitely have him. And if we pick 2 more for elite status, not just, I'm talking about elite. Now, I know y'all are looking like, Uche, why the fuck you ain't picked Patrick Mahomes? But I am picking him. He's in there.
Just give me a second. I had to find him.
I had to find his face.
Ooh.
Now, who is number 5? I don't think that Tom Brady is. I don't think he's an elite 5 in the same sense that he's been pretty much his whole career. Because he has weapons. I mean, he might have the biggest assortment of weapons out of all of these quarterbacks. He has more weapons than all of them. He's got 3 wide receivers.
I mean, two of these guys just lost their top target. Mahomes and Rodgers.
Yeah, Mahomes and Rodgers lost their top targets. Yeah, so that's going to affect them. I think that'll affect Aaron Rodgers more than it will Patrick Mahomes. Because Aaron Rodgers has to have a safety blanket, and his safety blanket is usually his top wideout. That's who he launches it up to in dire situations. That's what he did in the playoffs. I mean, hell, I think in the game, Devontae Adams got 12 targets, while everybody else got total 6 or 9. Like,
I was gonna say, it was a minuscule number of targets for the rest of the team. Or maybe his top 2 guys had 80% of the targets. It was something wild.
It was wild, and then it was only Devontae Adams who was getting those targets. It was once Mercedes Lewis fumbled, then he never threw it to anybody else again the rest of the game, which was kind of crazy. I like Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow as a guy who is going to be. He is on the precipice of being an elite quarterback. I think that you kind of want to see one more year of that kind of culture shift in Cincinnati, and I would say yes, he's elite because a lot of that comes from his leadership. A lot of that does come from his leadership.
I mean, I'm looking at. Man, I see 3 guys that could easily be up here.
Yeah, I think there are 3 guys that can easily be considered, and I think one of them you have to consider Tom Brady because he's Tom Brady, even though he's being overcompensated with the weapons he has around him that are, I mean, these are elite level weapons he has around him on both sides of the ball. Joe Burrow's another one.
I'm thinking,
but honestly, if I'm being real, I think I'll give it to this man.
I was thinking Stafford, Russ, or Herbert.
I think Stafford gets that elite status because we all have wondered what the fuck his career would be like if he was not in Detroit. And we got our answer in 1 year. Super Bowl champion. He's a Hall of Famer now. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I believe he is.
His numbers are crazy with Calvin Johnson for all those years.
His numbers have always been good. They've always been top echelon quarterback. But it's like you in Detroit, bro. By default, you're going to be a loser. Trying to prove that you're a winner. You're never going to be a winner trying to prove that you're part of greatness. And that's where I think Matthew Stafford has laid his claim to be a Hall of Fame quarterback now, considered that good now, because he got a Super Bowl in the first year, was no letdowns, and when he had to make plays, he did make that damn throw. He made that throw against Tampa. He made that throw against Cincinnati. I mean, he made the plays.
He absolutely
made the plays. So I would put him. This would be my top 5 in the NFL quarterback. These are the elite guys. Elite. There's no doubt about it. Now, let's take it down to our upper echelons. Now, upper echelons are going to be your franchise QBs. These are franchise guys who have either been elite a lot of their career, like a Tom Brady, or they're guys, or Russell Wilson,
guys with rings.
Or
most part.
Huh?
No, I was like a guy with a ring will probably be
a guy with the ring. Yeah, a guy who generally has a ring and was at some point easily interchangeable in here. You could put them right. They were in this in the past few seasons. And Russ, I mean, yeah, I think Russ has been in there for the past few. They both have been in there.
They've both been in there for a while.
Yeah, they've both been in there for a while. So they're on the cusp of an elite level quarterback, but their elite gamesmanship comes out in spurts.
They're gonna have
it comes out in spurts. Yes, it comes out at points of the season when it's needed most. When they need a win in December, you're going to see elite level come out of these guys. Elite level. Let's see who else. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky in the NFL because as I look at this, I bet most people would be looking at this. I mean, of course, yes, I put Joe Burrow up there with them. Joe Burrow's up there. And I actually feel like Justin Herbert is up there as well. But he's not necessarily to their degree, but he's just in there.
Man, I think a breakout though. He's done some nice things. Really nice. I can't front.
He's done some really nice things.
He has the most touchdowns.
He's done some really nice things.
In history. I mean, that's not the end all and be all, but more than Dan Marino. So that's doing something.
Yeah. I would say, if we're gonna, I would say we could pick 8 quarterbacks and put 8 quarterbacks in here.
Okay.
I think you'd be about right with that. With about that many, about 8 quarterbacks. We got what, 4 here, so 4 more guys who are upper echelon kind of talent. I'd say Dak's he's upper echelon. He's upper echelon, but again, he is more. He reminds me more of an Aaron Rodgers in that he's only upper echelon. He's upper echelon during the regular season. When they get to the postseason,
that's a Cowboys thing.
That's a Cowboys thing, but he ain't got it done yet.
Yeah, help it.
He ain't got it done yet.
Oh shit!
I mean, that's been a Cowboys thing going all the way, literally back to Troy Aikman. He was the last guy who was the fucking eliminator when he got into the fucking playoffs, just dropping people. But
I think you got to put.
I think you got to put Lamar in here too.
Oh yeah.
I think Lamar goes in here. I think Lamar was a guy who two years ago Lamar was up here.
Oh, I mean, it was
last 2 seasons. Yeah, the last 2 seasons, this is where he's been, and it's because of injuries more than anything. That's what it's been. He's been injured. So, I mean, it's hard. What do you want? What do you want them to do? There's nothing they can do. You can't be used.
I think Derek Carr's in there.
Derek Carr. Yeah, you know what? Derek Carr has actually earned this spot. I think he's earned this spot more than anybody else on this list. He earned this spot because you know where everybody kept him at? This is where motherfuckers had him at.
Yeah.
For his whole career. He's showing you year in and year out he can get his team to the playoffs. Yep. And when he's on the field, they're a better team. And for years, people have disrespected this man and had him literally sitting there as a bust. Like saying he's 1 year from being a backup. No, this cat has been steadily earned his spot as an upper echelon quarterback.
His ass off too.
And he plays his ass off, and he's really he's their leader, and they believe in him. They believe in that cat. And
the reason Davante Adams isn't in Green Bay. He chose that guy.
Yeah. There's literally a reason why Davante Adams is now in Las Vegas. And I'm telling you what, that's going to be scary. Hey, the only thing that can stop them cats now is injury.
Waller, Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow. I mean, he got weapons now.
This boy got weapons. They might be next up. Real talk. Them Raiders might be next up. They get their defense a little bit more solid. Them boys going to be ready. They're going to be ready to make a run. You'd be hard-pressed to beat them. Be hard-pressed to beat them. They're a good team. All right. So, what we got there? We got 7. We got one more upper echelon. Man, I tell you what.
I got to say, my quarterback for most of my
quarterback. Okay, Matt. Oh, you know what? Honorably, the motherfucker still ranked top 10 QBs in the NFL last year.
Yeah, he's always going to be there. Former
He's
MVP.
still at the top 10 QB quarterback rating in the NFL.
Former MVP.
I mean, I can't even argue against him.
Hopefully, they can send him off in the sunset on a good note.
He's only got 1 or 2 years left, but man, the dude has been in the top 10 of NFL quarterbacks in QBR his entire career. Just because he can't run, hey, he still look, we practiced against these cats. I mean, Justin knows. We practiced against them every year for like 3 years straight in Jacksonville and between Jacksonville and Atlanta. We practiced them during training camp. Man, I used to sit there during our team period when we get done and y'all go up. Man, I would sit there on the sideline on one knee just looking. I'd be like, good God, Jesus, that release is so quick. Like, our defense can't even touch this cat. They can't even get near him. He's getting the ball out so quick. He was on the money, too. He was shredding our – and we had a good secondary.
Sharp as
Shane Mathis, Brian Williams. Like, we had good players. Reggie Nelson. We had what's his name? Landry, Laurent Landry.
Yeah.
Like, our secondary was getting shredded. And, you know, Rasheem Mathis was a Pro Bowl cornerback. Multiple years.
Buddy
Man,
has
Rasheem was good.
Between the fucking ears, dude has it.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is. Look, hey, I was telling Falcons fans, I was like, because they're like, man, don't you think it's all time for get rid of old Matt? I said, look, y'all motherfuckers don't know what it's like to not have a good quarterback. I do.
Spoiled,
Shit, you better enjoy this shit. You better enjoy every drip of this shit. Because when it's gone, y'all don't even know. It's hard to find another one.
We're about to find out this year.
I'm telling you, because man, look, in Jacksonville, we had David Garrard, and these cats thought they were just too cool. They thought they were so smart getting rid of David Garrard and putting in Luke McCown and then putting in Blaine Gabbert when he wasn't even ready to play. Bro, I'm just sitting there like, who? So this is what it feels like to have a garbage-ass quarterback who can't do shit. Oh, man. It's going to be a rough life. It's going to be a rough one.
Oh, shit.
Woo! All right, so that's our upper echelon QBs. Now, breakout QBs. So the breakout QB category, in my opinion, this is the category where you're going to find the most young quarterbacks. This is where most of the young up-and-comers will be found, because now you are sitting at the precipice of being an established starter or, taking some significant step forward in your development that allows you to be like, a reliable quarterback. Now, there are also going to be quarterbacks in this who are streaky, guys who have been poised for a breakout year, and maybe they even had the breakout year.
Some of these guys are going to be fine.
Huh?
Some guys are going to be coming this way, headed down that hill.
Some are going to be going down that hill, back down towards this 1 year from back up. They're on their way there now. And some guys are going to be going up into their breakout scenario where they can have a breakout season and then have a chance to get up into the upper echelon by showing consistency. Mm-hmm. This is where these guys usually have consistency on their side. And that's why they have ascended from being breakout QBs. Yeah.
You're dependable.
So,
you know what I'm getting.
Yes. But the breakout QB is the guy who's expected to step forward and is either making strides to do that or has actually regret or began to, hasn't been able to kind of break that ceiling where they're just kind of stuck in this perpetual, is this guy really our guy phase, which is what a lot of people did to Derek Carr. He was the guy who sat in these two rankings here for like 3 years straight. That's what's happening to Jimmy G as we speak, as he is the first quarterback in there. This is a guy who they've waited for. They've waited for him to take that step since making it to the Super Bowl. But you can't say he hasn't made the step because they've still seen the most success with him on the field.
Yeah.
With him on the field.
You try to replace him, shit goes nowhere.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Trey Lance, but as it stands right now, that's really where it is for Jimmy G. He's a guy that has shown he's still dependable. He just hasn't had that consistency to prove that he goes into this level of quarterback. So
I got one question. Who was next?
I would say a lot of
Drew Lock and Jared Goff. Who was that guy?
Who's next to Jared Goff?
Between Jared Goff and
that between Jared Goff and who? This is
yeah.
what's his name? This is Big Dick Nick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy Jacksonville gave $88 million to and then cut him by the end of the first season.
Hey, that's a win.
That's a win. That's a win for him. You're damn right. Kirk Cousins is another guy who was in this position. I mean, he somehow Kirk Cousins continues to get these amazing contracts, but he has yet to actually take this team anywhere worth of note in the postseason.
I think Matt Jones. Oh, sorry.
Sitting in that position of breakout, but not so much. I think Tannehill, another quarterback, same boat as Kirk Cousins. Yes, same boat as Kirk Cousins, a guy who has had wonderful teams, great teams.
It seems like he's pretty.
For some reason, he can't get it done when it's time to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, when he has the best running back on earth going ham, it's a little easier. And it struggled a little bit once he went out. So,
yeah.
Just one of those guys, the jury's still out, not ready to write him off because he has skill. But, yeah, not going to take your team.
Yeah.
To these next
100% correct.
Without a great squad. Correct.
I think Jameis Winston is another guy who is there. Now we were expecting to see him actually. It looked like he was going to take a quick ascension up into upper echelon.
He was looking pretty good, actually.
He was looking really good. He got injured, and maybe he didn't play great that game. He got injured, but I think he's a quarterback who. Having been in Tampa, having had the 30 for 30, a lot of people kind of felt like maybe he was going to find a new, a year lease on life with Sean Payton.
Like that should make anybody their quarterback knowledge go up 20 points.
Oh yeah. Having Sean Payton around you, teaching you the strategy of the game. All these things, and now Sean Payton's like, I see where this shit's going. I'm out. I am out.
Probably on the whole.
Things are gonna get a little bit more, a little bit wild in the NO.
I think Mac Jones is probably here.
Yeah. Mac Jones is, and as a young quarterback, this is exactly where you want to be.
Yep.
This is only his rookie year he just played. This is where you want to be. You're not even there. These are not even considerations for you right now down here. You're starting in the breakout position.
Yeah.
Next year, you could define whether you're going to move up into upper echelon of quarterbacks or not. And that'll be within 3 years of being in the league.
Right.
That means you're on track for a ring. You should be.
He is chronologically older than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, wow. He's older?
Yeah, but he stayed in college for a lot longer.
Yeah,
but I think they're close in age. But yeah, he's
ask Bill Belichick who he'd rather have. I bet you he'd rather have Lamar. He got it. He said this boy's fat and lazy.
Do some things with Lamar Jackson. Shit.
What they could, I think that it's a shame that, and I won't say it's a shame because to an extent, this has been Baltimore's identity for a very long time. They're just a heavily run-oriented franchise. Like that's just what they've been about.
Yeah,
they don't usually have these breakout receiver positions like 35, 40 touchdowns a year. It just don't happen with them. So, Lamar in a different system might be more pass heavy, but I think his ability to run will always supplement whatever you might think he lacks in passing, which he doesn't always really lack. There's just not the same repetition as other teams in those fields. So
the same rhythm
Yeah, he's not there. The way that they build their rhythm is through running the ball. They don't build it with setting up pass plays. All right.
Not usually traditional dropbacks either.
Yeah, they don't do traditional dropbacks or none of that. So I mean, you can even look at like Joe Flacco. When Joe Flacco at his peak prime ability as a quarterback, he wasn't better than Lamar Jackson throwing the ball.
Preach.
So I mean, it wasn't even like he really had like a huge excuse. He didn't really throw the ball that well his entire career.
Because you damn sure can't run.
Because he damn sure can't run. That much we all know. All right. So next up, I think again, there's more of these young quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts.
No, that's shit. What's the kid's name? Fields, isn't it?
I mean, my bad. Justin Fields. My bad. Justin Fields. That's what I meant to say. I don't know why I said Jalen Hurts. Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts. Young quarterbacks. And boom.
Oof.
These are young quarterbacks who,
Oof.
I mean, honestly.
You got to put them in front of your boy? From Duval?
I mean, no. This is true too. Yeah, this is where your young guys. Because I mean, I look at Trevor Lawrence and I say, I don't even count Trevor Lawrence's first season. Like, I don't think that he really.
All your second year
I think
guys.
it was a wash. I don't think he lost anything in that first season. I think he was able to just stay maintained at that rookie level. He didn't really like lose confidence. He didn't lose. He didn't get hurt. He didn't have any like any moments where you're like, it doesn't look like he knows what the fuck is going on. He didn't have any of that.
Right. But
which is good because
I think there's still love within this subset because, I mean, a guy like Mac Jones is, I mean, it's a different system, not a lot, not being asked to do as much.
They're not even asking him to do as much here as they asked him to do.
And what, he was able to produce this year. Yeah. But I mean, I see there can only be, so many upper echelon guys, and he's clearly not there. But I would say that there's, a delineation between even those guys.
I mean, if I'm being real, because I mean, look,
because I don't think he's headed to backup duty by any means. But
breakout QBs are going to generally be the rookie and second year QBs always.
Basically, we don't know.
Now, if I'm being real, these three guys right here are going this way faster than they're going that way.
No, I agree.
So these three guys are already kind of like they're sitting in the middle of this, but they can, if they have a bad year, they drop down into 1 year away from backup duty immediately.
Sure.
He might get a little bit of leeway because of the injury, but these are the guys who are really the breakout quarterbacks. These are the guys who you expect one or two of these guys to be ring guys who can get up into here in the next 5 to 10 years
of so-so play. Like the first four, they need to play well right now.
Yeah, these four need to play well right now. They don't have any more leeway. Well, he does because of injury. But even at that, you're not even on a contract that gives you leeway. So you got to hit it now, or you're going to be right down here backing up these guys because they are going to be the ones who are going to now be on a 4-year clock to move up.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. Now, do I think Zach Wilson is one of those guys too? I think, yes, Zach Wilson is one of those guys.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because he's young. But he is actually, how bad his year was, he is like, there are red flags going off everywhere around him. There weren't any red flags going off around this guy, and he was on a worse team.
True. I mean, they had an all-time shit show of leadership there.
Yeah, and he didn't have the red flags blaring around him. This guy did. And you actually had a good coach who actually is putting something decent together, but you seem to be the problem. But they can't. That's not a definitive thing until the next season comes and goes.
Busy chasing them Cougars.
Mm-hmm. Now, from here, and we got to be honest with ourselves now, all of these quarterbacks, minus the one who's retired,
Alex Smith too,
and Alex Smith as well, minus these two guys, every one of these guys, 1 year away. You might already be there.
It might be done.
Yeah, Cam might be done. But these guys, you're a backup. You're a starter, but you're a bust.
He was the number 1 overall pick, wasn't he?
You're a bust. You're a backup, but you actually you show versatility from time to time, but it's just not what we thought it was ever going to be. You are the absolute definition of inconsistent and unreliable, and somehow you're still a starter in the NFL. And if you were just a little bit more fair-haired, y'all might be twins because y'all are pretty much the same player wrapped in one.
Oh, shit.
And these two guys are no longer playing, and I will grant them the grace that they were actually – Alex Smith was sitting comfortably in this position with his hairline just above the line. And he was looking to be an upper echelon QB before he had that injury.
Yeah. And he was
this guy is one who's go ahead.
No, I was just saying Alex Smith was a pretty consistent player on some so-so teams. His best shot was when he was in Kansas City. And he really, he was doing really well, even though he left Kansas City. And, Washington, he wasn't doing bad either. But Washington is so badly managed that it didn't matter how well he played. It just didn't matter. Now, this guy here. I mean, he's been the top. At times, he was the top of the world. Shit.
Yeah, this guy here actually started up here, which is kind of crazy. You know what? I won't. Let's not embellish his story that much. I will say he started here as an upper echelon QB because he was able to rely on Jerome Bettis and Hines Ward and that great defense for the first year as a quarterback, and then he ascended himself up to here, and he spent most of his career up here. But let's be real: in the last 4 seasons.
Oh, I mean, once his arm just couldn't take it.
Once that elbow gave out, the only thing that kept him from sitting firmly in here was the respect that franchise gave him for delivering 2 Super Bowls. And that's fair. That's fair.
That'll buy you a lot.
That's fair because that's what made them Sixburg. Sixburg. Is that they were the first team to get the 6 Super Bowl championships. And that's off his back. So it doesn't matter how bad he is. For all the work he did for that franchise, you owe him the respect and the dignity to let him call his number. And he knew that if he couldn't, once he had the elbow surgery, it was a matter of time.
Yeah.
Once he had the elbow surgery, it was already known he's got at the most 3 years and he is done because physically you ain't going to be able to throw the ball no more, period. And that's what happened. 2 years later, he's retired.
Mm-hmm.
So he was given respect. So you'll never see, never was a part of this. And that's because the franchise saved him from it. And they didn't allow him to be considered that. And that's fair. So I think we got a pretty damn good list here. Pretty damn good setup. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think this is good. I might put Drew Lock in the bottom category.
You know what? I ain't even on front. If we got to amend it, I would put him down there. I'd put him down, and I'd actually let him sit up here because he's a starter technically.
True. It's looking like,
but no, him. No. You definitely are bust border.
Yeah, he needs to make something shake this year. I
they were trying to get rid of him last year. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about you need to be gone last year, so that really means you're done.
So yeah, he'll be busting down that clipboard pretty soon here.
Hey, he's gonna be busting that clipboard down. Yeah, so I think we got a pretty good, this is our top rank. This is our quarterback rankings for this year coming up. Now I know that there might, I guess no, these are all the ones that are in there because Trubisky's now in Pittsburgh, and then you got this cat is now. You got Russell Wilson's now in Denver. Matt Locke is now in Seattle. So the trades are applied. They're just not wearing the jerseys.
They don't have Heineke.
Yeah, they don't have Heineke in here. But I mean, Heineke ain't shit neither.
Yeah, he'd be towards the bottom.
That motherfucker had one good game in his career. Anyways, but that is our top 10, or not our top 10, but our tier maker for our top ranked quarterbacks based on level of play. And I think that's where we're going to leave it off here for the show. We're right on time, sitting at an hour and a half. We do appreciate everybody for being in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you get notified when the next stream is ready to go live, when the next videos drop. We are the linemen of Lineman Life. We love Cougars. And we will see all of you on the next live stream. Hope everybody has a wonderful Monday night. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace
out.